your funny favorite food addict, crazy keto Amy Davis. Welcome to the Rockin Rockstar Keto Kitchen. Thank you for joining us for tonight's Sunday Night Live. Again, as always, I have to do my disclaimer. I am not a medical professional. Any information provided in this form is not to be used as medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or services to you or any other person. Any information provided in this form does not replace being seen by a physician. If you have a medical condition, please seek medical advice from a physician. As always, please consult with a physician before changing your diet. Always. The recipes in this live are not always my own. I am merely showing all of you how to live this lifestyle by demonstrating the leading expert in the field's recipes. Although, I will always credit when posting the recipe who the author of the recipe is. If I author the recipe, I am, of course, going to take credit for my own recipe. Ooh, we have somebody joining us live who's in here. Go ahead and post a comment. Feel free to post in the comments what city and state you're watching from, and if you're watching it live, type the word live, or if you're watching it via the replay, type I'm watching it later via replay. Can you hear me okay? I think there's audio. It looks like, ooh, Juan Carlos is in the house. Hi, Juan Carlos. Okay, so quick housekeeping. Not doing a live next week because I am going to a show. So no live next week. Tonight's recipe, we are going to get all sauced up. We're going to get saucy. So tonight's live, we are making meatballs and homemade marinara. Now, the meatballs come from Carolyn Ketchum. Some of you are familiar with her website. She does All Day I Dream About Food. A lot of you know her website. And then the marinara is actually my homemade marinara sauce, which I posted on the website. So I'm going to show you how to do that while we got the meatballs in the oven. And I'm going to kind of modify the meatballs a little bit because the recipe tells you how to make them one way. But I'm going to do a little meal prep for my meals this week because I'm a very busy lady. So I'm going to actually use my meatballs, not the way she intends it, but I'm going to use it for like spaghetti. I'm going to use my sauce for spaghetti sauce. So I'm going to kind of teach you all how to use your brains and think about how you can modify recipes. So we'll do a little bit of like learning. Especially for those of you who don't cook a lot and you have to rigidly follow recipes. And I used to be this way. So I'll show you how you can think about things from recipes. So we'll talk through that a little bit. And then let's just talk about meatballs for a second. Because when you go shopping and you go to like Costco or Sam's or even Myers or Martin's or wherever you shop, post in the comments. We got somebody else. Post in the comments where you go shopping. Do you go to a big box store like Sam's or Costco? Do you go to Meijer? Do you go to Martin's? Where do you shop at? Everybody's got their own brand of meatballs. But does anybody know why you wouldn't want to necessarily buy like the frozen meatballs at a grocery store? Raise your hand. Anybody? Anybody? Post in the comments. Why would you not want to buy the frozen meatballs at a grocery store? Anyone? Anyone? Raise your hand. Type it in the comments. Okay, when you buy, I'll go ahead and tell you. When you buy the frozen meatballs from a grocery store, they probably have like flour, gluten, wheat, and that would be bad because those ingredients cause inflammation. They stall your weight loss, and that is adverse to all of the goals you want to do. You want to be able to lose weight. You don't want to have pain. Not to mention, homemade meatballs just taste better. And you can freeze them. You can make these ahead of time. You can stick them in a bag, freeze them, and you can use them later. So when you're meal prepping a bunch of food, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make these. And you can freeze them and pull them out of the freezer when you need them. I do this for Christmas. all kinds of stuff. So we're gonna get to it here. Again, this is Carolyn Ketchum's meatball recipe, and this is my marinara recipe. So we're gonna do this tonight. Okay, so let me, first of all, get Carolyn's recipe up. And again, I always share these recipes. Don't feel like you gotta write this down, because I always share these recipes at the end. So you can watch for that later. Don't feel like you gotta just sit back and enjoy. Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera here so you can see everything that's going on. Let me move my water out of the way here. Okay, so I have, it's supposed to be a pound of ground beef, but when I package my ground beef, it's probably like 1.5 pounds. That's fine. I have the oven preheating to 350 degrees. So we got that going on. So, and then I'm just going to bring this, I have a, whatever, however you call it, a cookie sheet or cooking sheet. I don't know, there's some debate about that, with some parchment paper. So we're going to take our ground beef, and then it says fresh parsley. I don't have fresh parsley, so we're just going to use dried parsley. And it says 2 tablespoons, but it says use fresh parsley, so if you have access to that, I would do that. So we're going to put 2 tablespoons of dried parsley in here. That's fine. But yeah, if you have fresh, it's better. Okay, and 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese. So I already have this measured out. Parmesan cheese makes everything better. So we're going to take our Parmesan cheese, and I actually put Parmesan cheese in my meatloaf too. So we're just going to put that in there. And these are so easy to make. That again, when you're meal prepping, you can make these. And then I'm going to take, let's see, 1/4 cup of almond flour. Okay, so we got our almond flour we're going to put in here. 1/4 cup of almond flour. If you're allergic to almond flour, I guess coconut flour, but they might taste a little coconut then. Almond flour, and then 1 large egg beaten. So I got my egg here, and it's already beaten. Hi Nicole, welcome. Glad you're watching tonight. Okay, we're making meatballs and marinara. So I'm going to add my egg in here. Okay. So we're going to add our beaten egg in there. And then salt. So it says coarse salt, but my favorite salt, if you've been watching me, is my Redmond's real salt, which I order off of the Redmond's. I found out you can get this at Whole Foods now. They sell it at Whole Foods, but I like to order it direct from Redmond's, and they ship it to my house. So 1 teaspoon of this. Now, I'm going to deviate from the recipe a little bit. Hi Dad, Dad's here. My dad's here. Welcome Dad. Okay. I have some organic seasoned salt, and I think this has some, we're going to have some other seasonings in this too. Hi Amanda, welcome. In almost every single recipe I have, and I get this direct off their website. I think this you have to get on the website. But this is my favorite seasoned salt. This is the Redmond's Organic Seasoned Salt. I put this in all my recipes. Go to redmonds.com. Oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing. I'll probably put a teaspoon of this in there too. Why not? Probably should have just done 1/2 teaspoon, but I like it. It's probably going to be alright. So this is the Redmond Organic Seasoned Salt. Okay. And then we're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm not a huge fan of pepper, but it's starting to grow on me since I went keto, so whatever. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. So we got our garlic powder here. For those people just joining, we're making meatballs and marinara. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic. 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. These meatballs are going to be very flavorful. Okay, so, and then we're gonna do a fourth a teaspoon. You know what? I really like oregano. It says a fourth a teaspoon. I like oregano. I'm gonna do half a teaspoon of oregano. I am part Italian. Oh, this isn't even open yet. Why is my oregano not open? Why do I feel like I have one that's open? Oh well, we're gonna go with it. Because I'm not digging right now. Weird. I know I have an oregano that's open, but oh well. Now we got two that's open. Alright, let me get my kitchen scissors. This is not cooperating. There we go. So I'm going to bump up my oregano just a little bit because I really like oregano. I think, is Mom watching, Dad? Mom would approve that. So half a teaspoon, just a little bit more. And you guys can play around with whatever seasonings you like. Baking, I think you got to be a little more strict than cooking. Oh, I forgot to get the water ready. We need a 1/4 cup of warm water. So let that run for a minute. Okay. Yeah, we have to add the water in here. So just mix this all together. And I don't have gloves on, but the only person that's eating these is me. So, you know, obviously if you're making these for guests, we're gonna freeze them. And people freak out about you touching your food or gloves or whatever. But my hands are clean, and I'm the only one that's eating these. So, I'm just mixing it with my hand. Sorry, Dad, I'm not sharing these with you. Okay, so that's probably hot. So we need, how much water? It said 1/4 cup of warm water. So I'm going to dump that in there. Now, I'm deviating from this recipe a little bit. What she does, oh, so we're mixing that warm water in there, which is interesting. What she does is she makes these, she cooks them for 20 minutes. Then she takes them out, she puts them in a casserole dish. She covers them with the marinara sauce we're going to make. Then she puts some mozzarella cheese. I'm going to make these for meal prep. So I don't want to do it that way. So what I'm teaching you about tonight is how to modify recipes and figure out ways to do things yourself. So I'm going to bake them for 30 minutes. And I'm going to take them out and I'm going to show you how to meal prep and put them on spaghetti noodles for meals. So I've already figured out I want to bake them for 10 minutes longer. Okay, so that's pretty well mixed up. Mix it up a little more. It looks like there's some seasoning that's not mixed in. So I got this meat mess here, a meat mess. And it says roll them into like 2-inch balls. So we're just going to judge that. And we're going to put them on this parchment paper. I don't know if you guys can see. I think you can see. We're just going to roll these up into little balls. And then once we get this in the oven, we're going to start on the marinara sauce, which should be fun. So I'm just going to put these little balls, these meatballs, on. I don't know how big 2 inches are. Probably about right. So probably tomorrow I'm going to have spaghetti with meatballs. Usually I have ground beef marinara, but I felt like in the live I wanted to make meatballs. So post in the comments, what did everybody have for dinner? What did everybody have for dinner? Anything good? Dad goes, you know I like Mom's meat sauce. Did anybody have anything good for dinner? Post in the comments. So, I think I've shared with you all before, I fast 1 or 2 days a week because I'm at my goal weight. And I hit my goal weight last August. And before I'd hit my goal weight, but then I always seem to gain it back. So twice a week I do this, what's called OMAD. But I do a protein sparing modified fasting, meaning I only eat protein on those days. So it's kind of like what you call ketovore. Today was one of those days. So I ate my meal at 3 p.m. So I'm done eating for the day. I had one meal. I had a grilled chicken breast with Tone's Italian seasoning and garlic powder. And then I had a 3 egg white omelet with 1 piece of deli chicken meat and a little bit of onion. That's really the only carbs I had. It was just a little bit of chopped onion to give it flavor, and that's all I've had. And I'm not even hungry, really. I mean, I might change my mind about being hungry once it starts getting cooking. Now, if you can see, but the placing meatballs here. And like, sometimes for Christmas, we will have lasagna, pans of lasagna. And my mom will bring like frozen meatballs in a crock or something. And Dennis and I can't eat those because we're keto. So I'll make just a few meatballs like this and throw them in a little crock so we have our own meatballs to eat. Because I know there's no breadcrumbs. Oh, they use breadcrumbs in meatballs, right? Yeah, they use breadcrumbs. So breadcrumbs have gluten in them, which is not keto friendly. You want to avoid gluten. So what did everybody have for dinner tonight? Was there anything keto friendly? You don't have to answer that question if you don't want to. But did anybody have anything good that was keto friendly for dinner? Okay. Hi, Debbie. Debbie Stutzman is watching. So we're doing meatballs and marinara, gluten-free. Now, let me talk to you about the marinara a little bit. Previously, I was buying Rouse. I don't know if anybody has a favorite low sugar marinara, but what I found is steak and salad. Awesome, can't go wrong with that. It's like the best meal you can have. So I was buying Rouse, but Rouse is just so expensive, and I'm like, how hard is it really to make your own marinara sauce? So I kind of looked at a few different recipes and got some ingredients, and I kind of came up with my own. So, oh, this one might be a little smaller, but that's okay. So I came up with my own recipe, and I did it, and it really didn't take that long. You'll see. Okay, so we have our meatballs here. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay. All right, so I don't know if these are 2 inches, but good enough. So I'm going to throw these in. It says 20 minutes, but I'm not going to do the marinara sauce, baking them with mozzarella. I'm just going to bake the meatballs, so I'm going to increase the time at 350 for 30 minutes. So when you see me post the recipe, you'll know why I did that. Okay, so they're going in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to bring this over here. We're going to use this. This isn't the best pan, so don't judge it. But I like to do my sauce in here. It's kind of an old pan. Okay, so let me pull up. Now, this marinara recipe is the recipe that I wrote. And it's called Amy's Easy. Now, you could make a marinara with fresh herbs. But I wrote this recipe because this is like my working night marinara recipe. So when I come home from work and I got like 10 minutes to make something, I wanted an easy marinara recipe that I could throw together. Let me get these out of the way. That I could throw together in like 5 minutes. Or 10. You know, it takes a little bit longer than opening a jar of Rouse. But let me explain this. I go to Sam's Club. So 1 jar of Rouse is what, like I don't know, it's expensive, like $8 to $10. I go to Sam's Club and I get a whole case of diced tomatoes for $8. Same thing with the tomato sauce, a whole case for $8. And then I just found out at Costco you can get a whole case of tomato paste for thing. So I buy cases of these and I have a pantry and I keep them in it. So we're gonna take 2 of the cans of tomato sauce, right? We're gonna dump it into our pan. All right. So 1, and I might get something to, hold on, let me get my little thing to scrape these. Spatula. It's called a spatula, adult words. Okay, so we're gonna scrape out as much as we can. So 1 can of tomato sauce. Throw this in the sink and recycle. And then 2 cans of tomato sauce. 2 cans. Okay. Kind of scrape that a little bit. All right, so we have 2 cans of tomato sauce. Now, 1 or 2 cans of diced tomatoes. Lately, I've just been using 1. And if you like it chunky a little bit, you could do half of this, and I just pour the whole thing in there. I don't drain it or anything. I just pour the whole thing in there. You could drain it if you want to, but I don't. Now, if you want yours a little chunky, you could reserve back some of the chunks. But I like it smooth. So then, I found I don't use the whole jar of this. I don't know if I need to modify. Yeah, half a can. A whole can was too much. So what I do is I take a half a can of tomato paste and then I freeze the other half for the next time. So put this in a little freezer baggie. Okay. Don't throw it out. Freeze it for the next time. And you know you're gonna make, so I take half the can of the tomato paste and I just plop this in here. This doesn't take long at all. Okay. I'll put this aside for later because I'll freeze the other half of this can in a baggie. I'll scoop it out into a baggie and freeze it. Okay, now, garlic powder. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. All right? 1 tablespoon. And you can adjust these amounts more or less. 1 tablespoon onion powder. Okay? So 1 tablespoon of onion powder. One tablespoon of Tone's Italian seasoning. And actually this makes more than what's in 1 jar of Rouse. And it's cheaper. And it tastes better. 1 tablespoon of basil. I didn't use this at first, but my mom said use it and it makes it so much better. Gotta have the basil. Okay. Half a teaspoon of salt. Okay. And on keto, I used to have high blood pressure. I don't anymore. I don't worry about the salt. Now, this was optional. First I didn't like it, and now, totally fine. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. Again, if you don't have it, it's optional. Ooh, that's strong. But it gives it some zest. So I've been using it. Okay, I think I gotta pour it this way. Yep. So 1 tablespoon of this. Okay, now, show you what we're gonna do. Take this over here. Stick this by the sink. So, probably gonna have to move you guys here. Get all that in here. Okay, so we're gonna take this over to the oven because we can do this while we're cooking it. Hold on, let me get a chair over here because this is so cool. Okay, hold on. Let me bring you guys over here. Carefully. I don't want to mess up the audio. Sometimes that happens. Alright, let me bring you guys over here to where the oven is. Now, if you don't have one of these, this is called an immersion blender. Okay, can everybody see the sauce? Alright, hold on. Move this. Okay, can everybody see the sauce? Post, I can see the sauce. Oh, this is... Can you see the sauce? Okay. Can you guys see me? Someone post in the comments. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Yes? Is there still audio? I see it. Okay, good. Debbie posted from... Okay, this is called an immersion blender. Does anybody have one of these? I got this for $12 on Amazon Prime Day. Totally worth it. 12 bucks. Best invention. You can do this in a blender, but yeah, I see the sauce. It's better if you have one of these because we're going to turn on the stove top. Okay, this was not very expensive. You can get these really cheap. And then we're going to put this in here. And we're going to blend all this together while it's cooking. Can you see that? You see that magic? I don't know if I can zoom that in or not. Can you see that magic happening? The lower side. And it makes the sauce for you while it's heating up. So the sauce is heating up while you're blending it. This is really kind of an amazing little gadget. And really, that's all there is to it. The sauce is already heating up. And that's it. It just takes a few minutes for this to heat up. And again, you just blend it until your desired, like, you know, thickness. And boom, that's it. That's really it. That's really it. Voila. So simple. And I'm going to turn it down because it's starting to bubble. So let me stir that up a little bit. So, what do you think? Post in the comments. Have you ever... I would taste this, but I'm fasting, so I can't even taste it. But I know that it's delicious because I make this all the time now. So I'm going to turn it down to some... It splashed a little bit, but these little hand mixers really don't splash too bad. So, now, Has anyone used that before? Like one of those? So now all we have to do is just wait for the, I'm going to unplug this because we're done with that. That's done. And I'm going to talk to you about what I'm doing here. Hold on. So, actually, that's probably done. So, I don't even need that on. So what I'm going to do is I have these little noodles called Miracle Noodles, right? Okay, so, yeah, you have an immersion blender. I love mine too. I just got mine for 12 bucks on Amazon Prime Day last year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse these in the sink. And I just rinse them under some warm water in a, like this little colander. And rinse them under warm water like 2 or 3 times. And then I put them in a glass bowl. And I'm going to put my meatballs on top of them when I'm done. And then put some marinara on top of that. And then I'm going to saran wrap it and stick it in the fridge and then heat it up in the microwave tomorrow. So that's why I'm changing the recipe to not bake it like a casserole. Because I actually want like spaghetti. Spaghetti with meatballs. Now, some people don't like, these are shirataki noodles or konjac noodles. Some people don't like these. They just don't like the consistency of them. So you could spiralize zucchini. Or you could put it over like cauliflower rice. Or you could just bake it like they do, like a casserole. So, let me clear out the side of the sink and I'll show you what. Sorry, it's kind of getting messy in my sink because I'm throwing stuff in here. So let me put the stuff over here. And let's come over, look at my messy sink for a second. And I'll show you what I actually do with these. So I'm going to turn the water to hot. I'm going to put the sprayer on. I'm going to get my kitchen scissors. This bag is in water. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but there's actually like water in there. So I'm going to dump this out. Oh, and actually this package, that's weird. This package is no good. Ooh. So I'm not going to eat this package. They're dried. So I'm going to throw that one in the trash. No bueno. Let me see if there's another package. Okay, this one definitely looks better. I got a bad package in that batch. That's sad. Because these aren't cheap. Okay, let's try this one. You can get these on Amazon. Yeah, that one's definitely better. Again, packed in water. Yeah, this one's definitely better. They look better. So we're going to run them under the hot water. Let them rinse off. For a good so many minutes. Now, when I'm cooking it right away, I put these in a glass bowl and then I heat them up for 2 minutes in the microwave. That's how I cook them. But I'm meal prepping this. So I'm not going to heat them up. Ignore this sink right here. That's all the stuff we've been cooking with. I'm going to block that for a minute. Okay, so we're going to let those drain. And then I'm going to bring you back over here. Alright, so I don't need you to see the mess that's in the sink. So, we're going to let those noodles drain. Alright. And then, what questions is everybody having? Cheryl loves her immersion blender. I love mine too. If you want to start making your own sauce, I suggest you get on Amazon and get one. They're the best things. I love it for making the sauce because you make it while you're cooking it up. Sorry, I got some splatters everywhere. Okay, so what I do then is I'm going to get a glass bowl out. I'm going to put this here because my konjac noodles are going to go in there. And 2 places I buy them from. Another brand that I buy is, I'll show you these. I got this brand from Amazon. Another brand, Contact Noodles. So, the other kind I got from a company called Vitacost, but you have to order $50 or more to get free shipping. So you gotta really know that you like them. They also have some in a cooler in the Oriental store next to Barnaby's Pizza on Grape Road. So if you just want to try them, you can go into that Oriental market and get in a cooler. But I think those have to be refrigerated, and I don't know why. Okay, so let me get my noodles, make sure they're drained. We're not cooking them right now because I'm just meal prepping. And I'm going to dump them in this bowl. Okay? Because that's what I'm going to eat out of tomorrow. Okay, Cheryl says I need to try to make my own sauce. Yeah, so my husband did not like any chunks in the sauce. I use the immersion blender. Okay. Try my recipe. See if you like it. You can always change it up. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to get a hot pad out. Put that right here. Where does this go? Right here. And then I'm going to bring that sauce over here. Well, maybe. Because I need room for... Get these out of the way. I need room for the meatballs too. So let me bring the sauce over here. Yeah, and I don't mind chunks, Cheryl. So I probably could have, when you blend it, just blend it really good. Make sure there's no chunks. I don't mind chunks, and I don't think my husband does either. Okay, so we got our sauce. Got our sauce right here. We just had spaghetti last week, so Dennis probably won't want any of this, so I'm just making one right now. And then I may freeze, and you can freeze a sauce too. And yeah, there's some chunks in here still, which is okay for me. Oh man, that smells so good. I wasn't hungry until I made that. And again, this is optional. I didn't like it at first, but actually it gives it a little bit of a tang, so it grew on me. We have 11 minutes. Let me just peek at them. Oh, they're definitely cooking. They look good. Okay. So, what does everybody want to talk about for 11 minutes? Is everybody still in here? Earlier, I posted kind of a like short synopsis of like what to do on keto, what not to do on keto. Let me pull that up. I can get to our group. Sometimes it's hard to get to anymore. I feel like Facebook makes things hard to get to. There we go. Let me go back to that post. Let's just review that. Okay. So, keto plan. Tell me how long and often you fast. So 1 or 2 days a week I do what's called OMAD. 1 meal a day. So the other days of the week I can do whatever I want. And it just basically goes by the scale. If I've gained a little too much, or if I'm not feeling well, then I'll do 2 days that week. If I feel like I'm right on schedule, I'll pick 1 day. And I'll just eat 1 meal a day. This week I'm doing 2 days. So today I'm fasting, and probably Tuesday. It depends on my social schedule, because I do go out to eat with friends and hang out with friends, and my husband and I want to do stuff, and I don't want to fast on those days. There have been a couple times I've had to do them in a row. And that's really hard, but it's mostly because of my social schedule. I try not to do them in a row, because that means there's 2 days in a row that I'm only having 1 meal a day. And I try to eat at about 3 p.m. So from whenever I ate the day before, I go until 3 p.m. without just black coffee, water, tea. So last night I was eating pretty late because we had friends over and we were snacking till like 7 or 8 p.m. because it was Saturday and we were having a good time. So I ate pretty late yesterday, so it wasn't hard to make it till 3 p.m. So I had grilled chicken breast, egg white omelet. That was it. Very lean, all protein. And then I'll go until, I don't know, 9 or 10 tomorrow morning. And then Tuesday, now Monday nights, I have choir. And sometimes we go out after choir. So that means I eat late because choir ends at 9 p.m. Again, a social thing that we do. So then I'm going to go until 3 p.m. the next day and only have one meal on Tuesday. And it's going to be a salmon, my taco salmon, which means a salmon with some homemade taco seasoning, and then an egg white omelet at 3 p.m. And then I'm going to go till the next day whenever I decide to have my first meal. Might be 9, might be 10, 11. 2 days a week I do OMAD, and they're very low calorie meals too, but high in protein. 2 days a week. And I'm down to about 148 pounds. And I'll go up a little bit because I eat whatever I want the rest of the week in the keto world. And then doing those 2 OMAD fasting days, protein meals, keeps me on my, weight goal. And I've been that way since August of 2023. And I alternate between 1 or 2 days a week. Just depends on how I feel, my inflammation level, pain level. I did have some alcohol yesterday. Woke up not feeling good. I'm like, I'm fasting today. And I'm already feeling better. Honestly, fasting and just drinking lots of fluids and not eating as much makes you feel better. For real. People say, that's not good for you, you're going to be weak. No, I feel so much better. So, yeah. The less insulin you're pumping and stuff, I don't know, I feel like it's a good thing. And then I reward myself on the other days by just, eating whatever I want in the keto menu. Sometimes my stomach, when I allow myself to eat even keto junk food and stuff, my stomach doesn't like it. The protein days, I really feel good. So, my keto plan, for those of you who are new, no rice, no wheat, no sugar, no grains, no pasta except for these konjac noodles, zucchini noodles, no potatoes, not even sweet potatoes. For those of you that think sweet potatoes are okay, rice is not okay, no beans, beans are not okay, and nothing with starch in them. Milk is not okay, it's loaded with sugar, except for unsweetened almond milk. Stay away from products labeled keto friendly. You go to the store, beware of anything that says keto on the name. A lot of companies are jumping on the keto bandwagon. Flip it over. A lot of times it says contains wheat, gluten, sugar, blah, 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 blah. Always get used to reading your labels. They usually contain wheat, gluten, sugars, and will stall your weight loss, cause inflammation, weight gain, and pain. Avoid seed oils, canola oils, Crisco, margarine. Only real butter. Use olive oil, avocado oil, beef tallow, coconut oil. Bacon grease is your best friend. I love bacon grease. It makes everything taste so good. Avoid products with canola oil. So flip over foods. Just food. See if it's got canola oil in it. Mayonnaise. Look at your mayonnaise, people. Flip your mayonnaise over. If it says canola oil, stick it back on the shelf. Learn how to make your own mayonnaise, too. Eat whole foods. If you have to, vegetables and meat. And get the stuff. Put it on your food. Oh my gosh. Whole foods. Veggies and meat. Debbie said she had steak and salad. every day of the week. Stay away from junk foods with more than one ingredient and stay out of the inner aisles of the grocery store. Dairy. Okay. Dairy, some people can eat it, some people can't. Some people have to cut it out. Avoid processed cheese. No Velveeta, no those flimsy cheese slices that if you do this, they flop. Make sure you're doing the hard cheeses, the hard Colby. Only real hard cheeses. Avoid milk. No half and half. Get rid of the half and half. If you gotta have that, only get heavy whipping cream. Get rid of this half and half stuff that's not. It's got sugar in it. So the more whole you go, the better. Fruits. Okay, they pounded in our head. Fruits and veggies are good. Okay, certain fruits, certain veggies. The rest of them have sugars in them. Only berries are allowed in moderation as a treat. So I posted earlier the Dr. Berry guidebook. Take a look at that. It tells you which veggies and which fruits. Only berries are allowed in moderation. Not all the time. As a treat. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. All other fruits are too high in sugars. And they'll stall your weight loss and you'll gain weight. If you're trying to lose weight, I would even avoid the berries until your maintenance. Another suggestion, download the Carb Manager app. Set the carbs to total carbs. Don't net your carbs. You're going to set yourself up for failure if you net your carbs. That's a gimmick to get you to buy the keto stuff. Put in 20 to 25 total carbs and track everything you eat. If you do this every day, you'll stay under this, you'll lose weight, I promise you. Unless you have some thyroid issue or some hormone issue, in which case you need to go see your doctor and have them run a gamut of tests. And I mean a gamut of tests. And Dr. Berry and Maria Emmerich know which tests to have you run. You will lose weight, and if you don't, you are not following strict keto, or you have a hormone or thyroid issue. Carrots are not approved, Dad. Sorry, they have too much sugar. I eat them every once in a while as a treat, but I'm also very strict and I'm maintaining my weight. So carrots have too much sugar. If you look at the guidebook, Dr. Berry says no. Find recipes you like and put them in I have a digital app. Mine is called Recipe Keeper. It does cost money, but once you pay for it, it's yours. Either put it in a digital recipe thing, or if you have print them out and put them in but find recipes you like, learn how to make them, memorize them so you can make them in your sleep, get several of them, and just learn how to buy the groceries, shop for them, and pretty soon this will be like your regular cooking that you used to eat. Go through your cupboards, throw everything out, clean out the bad oils, clean out all the garbage, and replace it with whole, healthy foods. And, takes what did I say? 14 days to get the junk out of your system and 30 days to make it a habit. You guys can do this. I mean, you really can. If you're already doing it, good job. If you need a little bit of a push, guess what's done? Our meatballs. Alright. So let's check them. I may cut into one just to make sure they're like not pink. Just let me pull this out. They look good. They smell good. Let me just make sure. Yep, they're good. I cancel this oven. Alright, so let me bring these over to you and show them to you so you can see. And again, you can freeze the extra. Oh, and you can eat them just like this. Like, when I've done protein sparing modified fasting days, that's my protein days. These would be, you could have like 4 or 5 of these just on a protein day. So I got these. So now, what I'm gonna do, I have a spoon right here. These are so hot. I don't know, how many do I feel like putting on my spaghetti? 1. Oh, you can't see this. Hi, Angela. So I've got my konjac noodles. Angela's the konjac noodles. I'm just gonna put some of these on here. 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. I'm gonna treat myself because tomorrow I'm not fasting. So I put 5 of these beautiful meatballs on here, and then we have our marinara, right? And I'm gonna put my meatballs. What was that song we used to sing, Angela, when we were little? On top of spaghetti. Something like that. Nobody wants to hear me sing. I swear I'm a singer, but that wasn't really good. So I'm going to put some of my marinara on here. So I now have, you can't see the meatballs anymore, but that's okay. I have my meatballs and marinara with my konjac spaghetti. Okay. So I could technically make a couple of these and I can freeze the rest. So we made marinara meatballs, and now I have my dinner meal prepped. Meatballs, marinara. Yes, and then don't forget to put your mozzarella cheese. Now tomorrow when I heat this up, I'll put some Parmesan and mozzarella cheese on top of this. Yeah, Dad's got the song. On top of a pizza all covered with cheese. Dad's got it. So, smells so good. The sauce smells amazing. Any questions? We haven't quite gotten to an hour yet. We have 8 minutes. Any other questions? And I kind of went through my little post from the other day too. So, I'm thinking, I don't know, I have an idea for next week. Maybe do a couple of ice creams. One of them you need an ice cream maker. And one of them you don't. I'm not sure yet though if that's what I'm gonna do. What do you guys think? Oh, actually next week, no live. I'm going to a show. So maybe the following week. No live next week. Just a reminder, no live next week. Might be the following week. Yeah, now I'm getting hungry. Any questions before we dismiss? Man, this does smell really good. So now my dinner is made for tomorrow. Oh, let me show you what Dennis is probably going to have. Just so you know. Great meal prep idea. Jumbo hot dogs. Okay, these I get, I think at either Costco or Sam's. I don't remember which one. And I take bacon. And I just wrap them around that. These are raw right now. But then we get our air fryer out. I set it on the counter. And he sticks it in the air fryer for like 400 degrees for 12 minutes. And it fries the hot dog and the bacon at the same time. And we just put whatever toppings we want on it. No bun. You could make a bun. But the bacon, I mean, that's so rich you don't even need a bun. So we have several of these too. But I'm going to eat the spaghetti tomorrow because it's my jam. What do you think? This is a good idea too. Also meal prepped a bunch of these earlier. So just ideas. And these are the jumbo ones, not teeny tiny ones. Jumbo hot dogs wrapped in jumbo bacon. Yummy. Can't go wrong with that. And if you want to chop some onions or pickles. So good. We eat good in this house. Any other questions? No? Wow, you guys are an amazing bunch. Keto on, keep working at it every day. One day at a time. That's all you can do. Take one day at a time. Work on it a little at a time. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. And, you know, took me a long time to lose 110 pounds. Didn't happen in a day. Didn't happen overnight. But I'm here, you know, feel free to private message me. Feel free to pose questions in the group. There's no judgments. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and end the live now, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining me. Take care. Until next time. Bye.